Good morning, warriors of Yahuwah and the truth. I am going to be continuing on with our lessons from the return of Yahusha. The beginning is near. Brother Rich, these books you can find on TorahZone.net. You can also go to Amazon, but I prefer going through TorahZone because that's Lou White's actual website, and you can call Lou White and his wife Phyllis, and they will get the orders ready for you and send you whatever books you want. And they also have this flag, and they have a smaller flag available on their site, and they have license plates with Yahusha on them, and they have, let me see. They have lots of cool stickers, like Baruch Haba B'Shem Yahuwah, and something about turning the world upside down. They have some really cool postcards and posters too. There's a Follow Torah poster that I love, and they have zeets. And you actually get to talk to Lou and Phyllis when you call them, so that's amazing too. Okay, so we are on video 10, and we are on warning the disorderly. A brother transgressed against is a strong city, and contentions are like the bars of a citadel. Proverbs 18:19. From time to time, we will all have some experience in being on both sides of heated controversies. It is obvious to us all that we should strive to have no root of bitterness towards any brothers or sister in the least. It is best to first maintain and pursue peace, whether one is being attacked or when you have to go to a brother about their teaching or transgression. Sorry. It must be done with gentleness and humility. When heated emotions feed a root of bitterness, it is very hard to accomplish the warning and correction that is necessary. 1 Timothy 5:24 says, "The sins of some men are obvious to everyone, leading on to judgment, but those of some men follow later." Particularly dealing with teachers or elders, we read, "Reprove, expose, or correct those who are sinning in the presence of all, so that the rest also might fear." 1 Timothy 5:20. We have to be careful to not make a habit of being contentious. 1 Corinthians 11:16. If we see error that is serious, I believe we have a responsibility to take up the matter with the person who is out of order, following the guidelines of peace, humility, and gentleness. At the same time, we must not become compulsive rule enforcement officers either. Our first course of action is given at Hebrews 12:14. Pursuing peace with all. When a false teaching is being spread by anyone, the error of it should be pointed out without judgment of the person doing it. This is reserved for Yahusha, and the ones who hear of the error must remember the words, "Do not be borne about by various and strange teachings." Sorry, I need a drink. Don't lick the book. Okay. Ibarim 13:9. If a man speaks against Yasharal, is warned, and rejects correction, his judgment will certainly come. Not by us, but by Yahuwah himself. Bella Bean, stop. Let me see here. Anyone making Yasharal his enemy makes Yahuwah his enemy as well. But if you diligently obey his voice and shall do all that I speak, then I shall be an enemy to your enemies and a distresser to those who distress you. Shemoth 23:22. Sorry, I have to answer this 1 second. This needs to be back by April 7th. April 7th. Sorry about that. We have to warn the one who is disorderly, in order to not be responsible for their perishing. If we know they're wrong, we must point it out, but in a nice and kind way. In order to, okay. See full warning at Yehezkel 3:17 through 21. The proper procedure for addressing a disorderly brother or one who teaches falsehoods can be gleaned from Titus 3. And this trouble can probably be linked in some way with Titus personally, because in this context his name comes up at 2 Corinthians 7. Apparently Titus had been offended and had his feelings hurt severely over a matter concerning the Corinthian assembly. At Titus 3, both sides of an argument can and should read themselves into being the wrong side to test that slander has not or should not occur. Exposing the error of a teaching or an offense to another believer is made to the man himself comes first, and if after several attempts to correct him fails, the next step is to bring the matter to the elders. Finally, if the man will not obey what is decided by the elders, he is to be exposed to the whole assembly. And his shame is before all, with a balanced understanding clearly exposing the error or hypocrisy. This is the teaching straight from the mouth of Yahusha at Matthew 18:15 through 17. We are not to speak against one another, YAAQOB 4:11. Behind their backs or otherwise as to their salvation, but we need to confront obvious lies, mostly traditional errors inherited. Ready to obey? But the wisdom from above is first clean, then peaceable, gentle, ready to obey, filled with compassion and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. YAAQOB 3:17 and 18. True worship is simply obedience to the covenant. We show worthship, like worthiness, worthship. The meaning of worship when we obey the Torah. And this obedience shows our love for our Creator. For this is the love for Elohim, that we guard his commands, and his commands are not heavy. 1 Yehukanan 5:3. We are also to forgive others who have offended us, or we will not be forgiven of the greater offenses we have made against our Father who gave us the Torah as the model of love to live by. Those who have wandered from the faith and succumbed to the doctrines of demons and the lying pen of the scribes have a form of Elohimness, but they deny its power, authority over them. They have been taught to view obedience as legalistic, and in their minds they have adopted the mystery of iniquity, which is lawlessness or without law. This secret of lawlessness has been at work many centuries, and this is the night or darkness, which Yahusha referred to was coming at Yehukanan 9:4. The lampstand, and I turned to see the voice which spoke with me. And having turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. Revelation 1:12. These 7 lamps together make up a familiar symbol used by Yasharal, the menorah. The 7 lamps on the menorah represent the 7 assemblies. and Yahusha walks in their midst. He told the assembly of Ephesus they had left their first love. This can be interpreted to mean several things, but the next sentence reveals what he is referring to more clearly. Watch this. But I hold this against you, that you have left your first love. So remember from where you have fallen, and repent and do the first works, or else I shall come to you speedily and remove your lampstand from its place unless you repent. Revelation 2, 4, and 5. Our marriage covenant, our first love, Torah upon our hearts. Their first love was the first works, from which they had fallen. This is the Torah, or covenant of love, as we will be looking at on page 73. Why would he threaten to remove the menorah, or 7 lampstands? Because the menorah represents the light for the world, that it not walk in darkness. It is a symbol for Yahusha as no other is. It represents the complete Torah, or word. Yasharal made the one with gold, but it pictured what was created by Yahusha and first seen by human eyes in the Garden of Eden as the tree of life. The other tree of the knowledge of good and evil was chosen by our first parents instead. Now you can see why Yahusha referred to the Torah, tree of life, being that from which they had fallen. The fall is something we all know about, and Yahusha has come to offer us the second chance at choosing to eat from a better tree, one that will give us life and eternal life at that. He is that tree, metaphorically, and he is Torah, represented by the menorah. Where has our menorah gone? Yahusha removed the menorah from the temple when Titus destroyed the temple in 70 CE, as we see celebrated by the Romans on the Ark of Titus. A record on the Ark of Titus. The Ark of Titus and another ark dedicated to his father Vespasian were built in Rome, celebrating the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE. The physical appearance of the authentic golden menorah is seen carved in the stone relief shown above in the picture I just showed, a scene depicted on the Ark of Titus in Rome. The Catholic Church no doubt holds this priceless item in their underground vaults, and Yasharal has formerly asked them to return it. The true value really lies in what the menorah represents. That being the Torah, given to be a light to our feet. Without Torah, we walk in great darkness. The darkness of the world resulted when Yahusha removed his menorah, a metaphor for Torah. Sorry, the alarm. Sorry about that, our alarm went off. Alright, so 7 means perfection or completeness. Spiritual activities are often reflected in the physical world's circumstances. What we see in stone above reflects what happens spiritually. There is a spiritual battle waging, and it is waged for the control of men's hearts and minds. YAAQOB ben YUSEF, ACHI, Yeshua. Right here. The ossuary or bone box of Rabbi Yahusha's brother, YAAQOB, has been authenticated before the eyes of the whole world. The 3 names, Yeshua, YAAQOB, and YUSEF, were common ones in the 1st century. However, having all 3 mentioned in one place is quite an oddity. What makes it much more unusual is that there is a reference to the deceased brother, so the brother must have been a very important individual. The name Yahuwah reveals the identity of the Redeemer of Yasharal. In the Tanakh, we find 3 forms of it. Yahusha, found 216 times. Yahushua, the way I used to say it, found 2 times. Yeshua, found 1 time. So, like, what that makes me think and what makes me feel is that Yahusha is the right spelling, and that maybe there was a misinterpreted spelling, like Yahushua, that was found twice and Yeshua found once. I feel like that might be a typo. I don't know. What do you guys think? All 3 forms of this name are spiritually acceptable forms. I apologize. Sorry. Okay. And all attribute salvation to Yasharal, Redeemer, Yahuwah. He is the one that uses these forms for his own name. So we have to accept them all. I will be who I will be. Ahaya Asher Ahaya is a revealing riddle to Yahuwah's identity at Exodus 3. Many things have been waiting to be brought forth as witnesses to the world in these end times. And this rank, as having the highest degree of value. Because it is a direct physical connection to Yahusha's own brother, and his name is even on the object. Roscoe? This object rises to the top in importance to any other object ever to surface throughout history in connection to Yahusha and his life on this planet. The name is the stone the builders rejected. Acts 4:10 through 12. Okay. The covenant and renewed covenant. When we understand the covenant is one of marriage, things will begin to make better sense to us. Yasharal and Yehuda are called houses and became 2 sticks. Ezekiel 36 and 37. But today we see them being joined together again as they were prophesied to become. 1. Yahuwah found fault with the first covenant because his wife Yasharal was disobedient to him. But he has provided for a better covenant with the same wife Yasharal, having the same instructions but implemented with everlasting complete redemption and effectiveness. For finding fault with them, he says, "See, the days are coming," says Yahuwah, "when I shall conclude, close a deed with the house of Yasharal, and with the house of Yehuda a renewed covenant. Not according to, in the same way, the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Mitzrayim, or Egypt. Because they did not continue in my covenant, and I disregarded them, says Yahuwah. Because this is the covenant that I shall make with the house of Yasharal after those days, says Yahuwah. Giving my laws in their minds, I shall write them on their hearts, and I shall be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. And they shall by no means teach each one his neighbor and each one his brother, saying, Know Yahuwah, because they all shall know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them. Because I shall forgive their unrighteousness and their sins, and their lawlessness I shall no longer remember. Slate wiped clean. Hebrews 8:8 through 12, citing Yirmiyahu 31. Also, Yahusha's Spirit writes his Torah on our hearts, so that we receive a love for his Torah, the truth. The 10 Commandments. 1. I am Yahuwah, Elohim. Have no other before my face. No foreign names, rituals, customs of pagans. 2. You do not bow to images. 3. You do not cast the name of Yahuwah your Elohim to ruin. No misuse or non-use bringing him shame. 4. Remember Shabbat to keep it Kodesh, set apart. Sign of everlasting covenant of love at Exodus 31:13. Ezekiel 20:16 through 20. Changed Daniel 7:25 by Constantine to his day of the sun in 321 CE for Christians. Changed by Muhammad to 6th day, circa 622 CE. Shabbat acknowledges Yahuwah as creator. Hebrews 4. In the world before sin came and remains for all eternity. Isaiah 66:23, Psalm 119, 152, and Exodus 31:13. 5. You respect your father and your mother. 6. You do not murder. 7. You do not steal, or you do not break wedlock. 8. You do not steal. 9. You do not bear false witness against your neighbor. 10. You do not covet your neighbor's house, wife, servants, ox, donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. These are to be diligently taught to your children and posted on the doorposts of your home. Deuteronomy 6. 1 second, sorry. A sister in Yahuwah messaged me and she sent me a praise song for Yahuwah. I'm gonna listen to it after this video. These words are called the covenant of love. 1 Kings 8:23, 2 CHR 6:14, and I believe this is Nehemiah 1:5. The above covenant was carried by the 12 tribes of Yasharal in a special box we now call the Ark of the Covenant. This box was special because of its contents. The ideas we read above we read above in English. In Hebrew, this box was called Aron Brit Yahuwah. It was also referred to as the Ark Aaron of the Testimony, Edut. Aaron Edut. This testimony or covenant was also a witness. There were 2 of them. One was an exact copy of the other, and they were written on both sides by the finger of Yahuwah. The word Edut stems from Edah, witness or testimony. This covenant is eternal and is the wedding covenant. Each partner had their copy in stone, one for the wife, one for the husband. Yasharal is his wife or bride. Edut in Hebrew also means warning or admonition. His bride will live according to this covenant. Written in stone, this had little effect upon the heart of sinful mankind. But the promised new or renewed covenant mentioned at Yirmiyahu 31 and quoted at Hebrews 8 and 10 became reality for the first time, as we see recorded at Acts 2. Yahusha circumcises our hearts with this covenant. So we receive a love for it, the truth, or word of Yahuwah. This occurs when he gives us his spirit. We become sealed with his name as our husband and deliverer at our immersion, which is our outward sign of this circumcision when we marry. Accept his covenant of love, and he takes our uncleanness away. This covenant produces spiritual fruit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Galatians 5:22 and 23. The next time I will be doing lessons on Satan is insanely jealous, the fall of mankind, the redemption of mankind, the times of the Gentiles or nations, 6,000 years, the interlinear Greek-English of Acts 20:7, And then that'll be it for that one. And the lesson after that will be question and answers. I love you all. Yahuwah Baruch you all, you and your families. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day and a blessed Shabbat Friday, or Friday evening to Saturday evening. I love you all. Shalom.